What up, everybody? It is Chris from Black Land Ownership, and we are out here building the beginnings of a frame for the deck. And for this section, we will need the saw for the deck. And for this section, we will need the saw. And we will need to make another one of these. This is one inside of it, and we're going to use that wood right there and this wood right here to make the other side of it. So let's get this prepared and get this set up. And I'm using wood that we have from around the property. This might fall because of the vibration. We'll find out if this works or not. So we did not go out and buy materials. This is just what I've been collecting over the past 2 years. And we're going to try to cut it to fit and make it all work. Measured it out. We already have one side built. Let's try to get this one done. Pardon the noise. So far, we're doing all right. Keep going. All right. And it's not quite perfect, but let's make this work. And because I only have like a 2-inch saw, and this is more than 4 inches, it doesn't go all the way through the middle. So you use the saw up to a certain point, and then you have the Japanese hand saw. And online, everyone makes it look like these things are so awesome and they're cute, and you're like traditional and Japanese. They aren't easy to use. They get snagged really easily, and you have to develop, because they also bend. So like they're flexible, so you have to like figure out how to use it and not end up all the time. But cool, we got that cut. So now we will bring this over here, try to make some frames. And you can already see what this frame looks like that we did on the first side. So that's, and of course I left my stuff out in the rain, so it got rusty. All the people that wonder why woodshop folks or builders are so fastidious about like cleanup or prepping your area the day before, I'm starting to understand as I take on more projects for myself. You very easily can end up with all your stuff everywhere and leaving it out in the rain and it getting rusted, which is no bueno. All right, now let me not get distracted in how I do this. I'm doing the cross beam on the inside of what the final piece will be. So these go down first. Then we bring this over here. Hello, Melissa. Hello. Would you like to say hello real quick? Hello. Show people the garden for a moment while I move this around.
Okay, I'll bring you down there. We're building a fence around our fence, but it's pretty cool with some really nice pieces of fresh wood. Mostly for aesthetic reasons, but also we can hang cool stuff on it and make it kind of artsy, which we like. So, in the garden, it's a lot of stuff going on. We just picked up about 50 bags of compost from a nearby farm. Over here we've got something called, this is a perennial box. It looks really messy right now, but it'll be beautiful in the end. Essentially, there's a lot of status in here. That's this guy. Doesn't look like it's doing well, but it actually is. In here, that's this guy. Doesn't look like it's doing well, but it actually is. Here's it starting to grow up after it goes through the previous stage. They'll be tall flowers, really pretty for bouquets. And they're perennials, so they'll come back every year. These are roses, and they'll come back every year. You can see here, it's sun rosa red. They're very pretty. Perennials. And this year they got moved around a lot. Then we have seeds planted back here. A lot of thyme is being planted in here. They're good for the roses and with statice. So statice, roses, and thyme work really well together as perennials. Over here, we've got roses and thyme work really well together as perennials. Over here, we've got watermelon, which we haven't tried before. We're doing a baby yellow watermelon. This is what it looks like. It's very happy in its new soil. Oh, the compost that we picked up was from a farmer. This is calendula, which is an amazing herb that also flowers and works very beautifully with watermelon. And in the back row, you can't see, some seeds were planted. They're called Coreopsis. You can kind of see back there their label, Coreopsis. And they grow very tall with lots of, I think they're yellow flowers. Tall with lots of, I think they're yellow flowers, and they're great for cut bouquets, but they also help support the nutrients for watermelon, and calendula protects from pests. So we'll see how this box goes. I've never done watermelon before. Chris has. This is kind of our messy plot. This is a plot that's not raised. We tried the things that typically grow in our very high clay soil in this plot. So we have tomatoes, lettuce. This is allium, which is a perennial, kind of cool flower. And then basil in here. I'm going to be moving some of these things around because it's not doing great. The clay soil is very high in nutrients, but it's very clumpy and it gets flooded, and it also gets very hard on the dry days, so it makes it hard for the roots to spread. But kale typically does very well in there, and these kales are coming out pretty good so far. This is also a clay plot that we didn't raise. Tomatoes in the middle, kale, and cauliflower. They all work well together as companions as well. And there's nasturtiums. Oh, I'll show you one of the seeds just recently popped on this plot. Let's see. They're really cute when they pop. Nasturtium are a beautiful edible flower. I'm obsessed with them. This is a little nasturtium seed that's coming up. They grow really well, and they get huge, filled with all kinds of colorful flowers, and you can eat them and put them on your salads. Here's a little bit of a bigger one. They're all around the edges of all the plots because they also have kind of a peppery taste, and a lot of animals don't like them. But humans do. Over here, new plot, zucchini. These are the little zucchinis. And they're surrounded by calendula also because they flower and protect. And you'll see that they're kind of in little mounds here. You plant your zucchinis and watermelons in little mounds. But haven't had luck with zucchini or eggplant before. Eggplant is over here. Little eggplants and some dill and some parsley. Hopefully they grow better. We experimented with our soil. So you'll see this box has a lot of like manure soil that we got from another farmer. Wasn't composted as long. It was more like a year. So it's still kind of clumpy, but high nutrients. And it also has some peat moss. This box has peat moss and the soil that was sitting for 7 years. Manure and ash and wood chips and sawdust sitting for 7 years. It's very good. That's what we call the fluid gold. So hopefully that will work out well. Over here, snap nasturtium popping. Oh, they're so cute. I just love them. And peppers, sweet peppers on this side. So these are growing well, and they'll climb all the way up this guy. Over here, we've got spaghetti squash, dill, and pumpkins with nasturtiums around the edges that haven't popped yet because I planted them a bit later. But they look like they're doing pretty good. So we'll see about the dill. But those are great companions. Dill helps with the nutrients and protection of the squash and the pumpkins. And the nasturtiums also grow really well with them. So when the nasturtiums pop, you'll be in protection of the squash and the pumpkins. And the nasturtiums also grow really well with them. So when the nasturtiums pop, you'll be excited to see, they just flow over the edges of the pot, just big bushels of beautiful colors and leaves. Over here, more peppers, some zinnias, and more snap peas. Zinnias are a fun flower I'm experimenting with, and you'll see these are flooded right now, but some little nasturtiums are gonna hopefully keep moving through down here. We'll see. I think there's another one somewhere. Anyway, but it's very flooded. That's what happens with the high clay soil around here. And you'll see the mountains up there. So as it comes down, it holds on this flat layer. Here we've got lettuce, one of our types of cucumber, and I'm always blanking on this. This is a typical flower that's at the edges of gardens. Not magnolia, but marigold. Yeah, and a little tomato over there. On that side, that's in the liquid gold soil. We got cayenne peppers, Swiss chard, and 2 types of basil, and nasturtium. And then, just made this plot, haven't planted it yet, but gonna put seeds in here. This is gonna be arugula, beets, and radishes, which grow well together. This is the liquid gold soil, so we'll see. That's what it looked like before over there. So, big difference. Need a couple more bags in there. On this side, more snap peas, a different version of cucumbers, some scallions, basil again, parsley, lettuce, and statice on the edge. Somebody ate my little cucumber over there. You can sort of see in the middle there's a tiny one. Must have been a little chippy. He's been coming in here having a ball. Here we've got sweet leaf. I think it's like stevia as an herb, and it is so delicious in tea or in oatmeal. It's so yummy, and it makes you feel good as a sweetener. This is zinnia. Zinnia again, another tomato plant, small yellow ones. Some kale, marigolds, parsley, another tomato, sage, lots of oregano. Oh, I love oregano. It's one of my new favorites. I think that's all we have in here. This is where we're building the platform that you just saw Chris building. We're gonna take these weeds out, put the platform over here. This is all goldenrod, by the way. What? What? Oh, sorry, can't do sideways, guys. Can you hear me still? Okay, so we're gonna be doing goldenrod over here. Not goldenrod, platform, removing this goldenrod, which really takes over. And we got 3 more boxes to fill here. So, still working, but we're getting there. Peat moss is a really good way to fill, to mix in with your soil, because it helps keep the water in there. And it's also really soft for seed growing. It's really easy for seeds to kind of grow in there. So it's looking good in here. Oh, and we got to show you Chris's little terraforming experiment over here. I mean, you've got a lot of water in the middle. I'm not quite sure exactly what he's going to figure out here, but he's got something in mind. There's cauliflower, peppers and herbs and lettuce and more peppers on the sides. And he wanted to put a fruit tree in the middle. It's a little messy, but it could be interesting. We'll see. Fun bench that he built over here. And I'm taking you out. Getting the garden clean after you do all this stuff is also really hard, I will say. I need to have a garden cleaning party. Oh, we got a couple frogs over there. Can you see them? Let's see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, there's 2 little froggies sitting there. We need more rocks to finish our pond, but actually there's 3 sitting there. And chipmunks love to hang out over here too. And there's a bird that's been following me around and hangs out in the lilac tree. It's pretty cool. I don't know what this bird is, but my brother named him Leroy. We'll see what he has to say when he comes around today. Back over to Chris. Ooh, look at this.
We almost have the frames done, so this will... Now the question is, initially I was thinking of doing the beam on the outside and do another beam on the outside here, and then the flat boards are go on top. But this is so heavy, should this maybe go on top here and also keep it stable?
That's
the problem is I don't have another one of these to go on the other side of the same width.
Oh.
Whereas if this went on the sides, then it holds it in. And
well, maybe you need to put it on the side, and then we could put another piece going up to stabilize it under.
that's true.
That might be the best.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, y'all. But we're here building. We're getting it.
And you see that platform up there? That's going to be a fun one in the woods. We also have a big glamping tent we're going to put up this year. Can't wait. And now maybe I can ask Chris while we're on video. You see, you have to work in partnership.
What?
And you have to find things out. Can I use a little bit of our white paint from finish my bench? Just a tiny bit?
The indoor paint for outside?
It's outdoor and indoor.
See, so this is what happens, y'all. When you work on projects, you allocate funds for things, and then you never actually distribute those funds in the way that you plan, but you make it all work. Then once you have all the items you need, you think you're going to use the spray paint to mark off trees, but then you realize you can't, and so you appropriate it to do a bench, and it only gets halfway done. So now we got to appropriate the white paint that's for the inside for this project. But what we're going to find out is those are two different types of paints, and we'll have to keep painting.
I did the research.
Yeah, so this is the fun and games. So this is the fun and games.
Was that a yes?
I mean, it's going to happen anyway.
Oh,
honestly.
okay. Thank you.
You know, it's the other thing y'all learn out here. There's no point in
Where are you?
trying to stop the
Oh,
inevitable.
you're looking outside. Yeah, the hummingbirds are around. Maybe you'll catch one. Oh, you see that tree right there that he's pointing at? It's half wood and then it's greening a little bit. That's our trumpet tree, and that brings all of the hummingbirds. It is the most beautiful tree ever. Let me show a couple flowers. No? My time's up? Don't you guys want to hear me a little more? Okay.
Yeah.
So, you've got... These are gorgeous. Highly recommend. They're called Blue Waterfall. I haven't even put them in real containers yet. They're still in their planters. But they fall all the way down to the ground. They stay gorgeous like this. They do need a lot of water, but other than that, they're amazing. Blue Waterfall. Native to up here. We got them at the Amish market. And I believe they're perennial. Let me just... Yeah, perennial. So they'll come back every year once I get them in the proper planter. And they'll just fall over. I'm going to keep collecting these. That's going to be one of my favorite flowers. The marigolds are over here. Oh, we've got lots of... You can't see them popping because I just planted these, but I'll show you. These are canna lilies. They grow real tall, like 4 or 5 feet, with big, beautiful red flowers. So we'll be putting them around, and I'll show you this part. This is the trumpet flower. I can't see your comments, so I apologize if you're asking questions, but this is our trumpet vine. This will have huge red bell flowers, and they kind of pour all over the place, and the hummingbirds and the bees and everybody loves them. And that's one of my favorites on the whole property, that trumpet tree when it flowers. These lupines are absolutely one of my favorites. You can see a whole bunch of them over there. They're all over. They are amazing. Native, perennial. They come back every year, and all those little flowers turn to seeds, pods. So when they dry up at the end of the season, you just plant more everywhere. I want to have them everywhere. And here's where I planted the canna lily bulbs. So this guy's starting to come up. All these bulbs are coming. They're going to be big red flowers that grow tall almost as the porch here. I love the yellow with the turquoise. What do y'all think about that? That's my favorite. I like that color combination. That's why I need to paint these benches white, so that it's white, yellow, and turquoise everywhere with lots of wildflowers. It's not there yet, but we're getting there. Okay, I'm bringing you back to Chris. No more. Is this TikTok? I've never even used TikTok before. Wow. I'm not a big fan, although I love that all y'all are watching. Here you go.
All right. Well.
Oh, did you show them the cob oven though?
Yes, Tiki. So this has been Live with Black Land Ownership. I will holler at y'all.